Hello and welcome back. Now today's video. Now we're going to do a bit on the R2R car. Now I still haven't had it confirmed from work. This is getting a bit aggro really, because I sort of want to say whether 100% it's all happening and it's good. But I think it will be. They did say in work they thought it'd be right, but it's just not been confirmed. So I'm a bit like, you really want that little piece of confirmation, don't you? So, what's happening? Now, the R2R car runs out of MOT in mid-November, I think it is. At the minute, there's no tax on it. It is still insured. Last year, basically, it renewed and I forgot, and I noticed I lost 220 quid or something on the renewal. So at the time, I just left it, and I got a year's no claims on it. So what's happened now is it's coming up for renewal again because it runs out on the 28th of September. The moment is, well, I have to MOT it again. Now to MOT a car in England now, for someone like myself, you have to reinsure it and re-tax it, I think, just to take it to the MOT station, because I believe the law has changed quite recently, but I really don't know on this. Because I don't know, I like to be legal with it, yeah? I mean, it's so easy to get done for something these days in a vehicle. I mean, it's unbelievably... It's unbelievably stupid, really. I mean, years ago, you could just, if you had a car booked in for an MOT, you just whipped it up there. But now, I've been told you have to have insurance, it's supposed to be taxed, everything, yeah? So, I could insure it for the day to take it there, but I don't think it's worth it. So what I'm going to try and do is get this car MOT'd this month before the insurance runs out. So, I've rung the insurance up and said I'm not continuing it this year, and I want my no claims, because that lasts 12 months. So what I'm doing is I'm literally going to do a little bit of few jobs on it, and then hopefully we can get the MOT at the end of this month, just before it runs out, and hopefully it'll get a pass on it, and then I can just leave it around here and just do little jobs on it there and then, and we haven't got to worry about MOTing it then for the next year's trip, because once that's done, it said it's road legal for another year. So yeah, this is what we're doing today. Now, why I'm standing in the greenhouse for is because it's just started to rain before I've even started on this. So whether we're going to get a lot of this done, I don't know. But yeah, so like I said, it's a bit complicated really with all this tax insurance malarkey. So I'm just thinking, well, I know the MOT doesn't run out for another few months, but I think if I can get it MOT while it's still insured, and then when the insurance runs out and there's no, cancelled tax again on it, because I think I'll have to tax it just to take it up there, which is annoying. But then I'm going to untax it again, and then it can just sit on the drive then until probably a month before the trip, and then I'll just reinsure it and re-tax it and all that before we go. So yeah, so let's see how we get on with this. So I've decided to bring the car around the back here. You can see the garage door hit it. Yeah, we can touch that up. It needs the wheel arches touching up because the rust is starting to really come back through, and this side especially, driver's side, is you can actually see the rust is around the plate that I welded in. That is not too bad considering it's just starting to go there. But yeah, it sits outside all the time. So let me show you a couple of the problems we've got. So basically the problem is I replaced these because one of these was snapped around the top here. And I replaced these with brand new ones, and these were the new rubbers. And this rubber has completely split, and the other one has completely split as well. It doesn't look split, but it's actually come out. So we're going to have to undo these and make two new bushes. Now I've got some rubber, so I'll show you that in a minute. So this is a non-Jaguar official part. This is like one of those cheaper copied parts. Well, it's only been on the car a year and it's done one trip on R2R, which I mean it's had a lot of hammer, to be fair. But the rubbers must be that cheap rubbish, absolute rubbish. I noticed when you buy a lot of cheap made parts, if they've got anything rubber on them, they don't seem to ever last. They always perish quite early on. You've always got to buy decent quality. I mean, it's a bit different on the R2R. On the red one, I'll probably put genuines on, but on the R2R, because it was only to use once, but now twice. I mean, yeah, some of these things I've done are coming back to get me now. So yeah, let's make a couple more new rubbers. Now I've got this rubber here. I bought this off eBay about 8 years ago. It comes in handy for many things. So I'm just going to cut some square bits off, put a hole in, and then just cut them round, and that'll do. Now I know they're not 100% round, but well, that one's really not round, but but they'll do literally for what I want them for. I'm just going to drill a hole through each one now, and then I can bolt it back together again. So there we go, they're drilled. I'm just going to drill this other piece of rubber. And yeah, I don't think I can video this and show you because I've got to sort of hold it. Let's have a go, hang on. Oh, I don't know. It's a bit blurry, but yeah, look at that. Nearly all the way through. I'll come back. So, yeah, there we go. I think that's much better. It's better than it, like you see, that one's come off. Look, the rubber's on the top. So yeah, we'll do that side now, but yeah, I know they're not perfectly round. It doesn't matter, but for some reason my red one don't even have an anti-roll bar on it. It could be this because this is the XJ6 Sport. I need to take this rubber off. It hasn't split, but look, it's half. Well, actually, I've had an accident. Let me explain. So I'm just going to explain to you my little accident I've just had. Now, this rubber is split, but it's actually popped over the top. I thought it would split and gone over the top. It hasn't. It's popped over the top. But I'm just going to cut it off and now put them two bits on I made. This one hasn't split either, but it's starting to split. See the cracks in it. Considering that's a year old, it's poor. Now, I was going to cut that off. Now, I don't know whether you're all like me, but sometimes when you do a job on a car, you think to yourself, I'm going to whack my hand in a minute, or I'm going to cut myself in a minute. And then within that moment of thinking that, you actually do it. Well, I've just done that again for the second time. So if you notice, look, I've got a plaster on. Basically, this is the most dangerous tool I've ever owned in my life for cars. I've cut myself with this so many times, it's unbelievable, and they're always deep cuts because it's so sharp. 3 months ago, I was cutting something, slipped and stabbed myself straight in the thumb. You can't really see it with the glove on, but you can just see a dark patch there under the glove. I stabbed myself straight in the knuckle with that, and it hurt and it bled like crazy. I've just thought, instead of getting the other knife, I thought, oh, I'll just cut it off like that. And as I was holding it, I heard someone drive past down the road, so I turned around and stabbed myself straight across the finger, straight across from the bottom of my nail all the way around. So please don't do stupid things like me. So yes, we've just bleeded all over the kitchen floor, and now we've bandaged up, and we're going to have another go. So I'm not going to use that knife. We're going to use a proper knife. Actually, we're not going to even do that with the look how it's gone now. We're going to cut it off with this. we're going to do it the safe option, yeah. Right, so let's get this done. There we go. There's the new bushes in. That'll do. I mean, I know they're not cut round, but we're not that bothered. That bush always pops out there for the handbrake. I don't know why. It's always coming out. You push it in, or you push it mostly in, and it comes out, but you can never seem to get it in any further than that. I don't know why. You only get it halfway in, but we're not that bothered anyway. I mean, it's not been in since most of the time I've had the car. It's not actually ever been in, so no one's ever said anything. So another job we've got to do is the exhaust. That's got a hole in it. Now the other side's alright. Now I didn't even realise this had a hole in it, apart from it was wet a few months ago when I was undersitting. Now I touched it and put my finger straight through it. So I'm actually going to maybe chop these rear boxes off and put straight through a bit of pipe, but I'm not doing that today. So I'm just going to put some exhaust filler in there, gum or whatever you call it, just for the MOT, and then after the MOT, like during the year, I'm going to take these back boxes and put straight through rear pipes on for the last trip with the car. But yeah, it's a bit annoying because I took them off the red one, and the red Jag, they weren't actually knackered, and they're over there now, but I cut them to get them off, so it's knackered them. So yeah, let's get a bit of filler in there and get that done for now. I know this is bodging, by the way, people, so don't leave the harsh comments, yeah? This is a banger rally car, so beware. So another job we have on this R2R car is, have you noticed the piece of the sill has has decided to rot off? So look, there's a little hole now. So I'm literally just going to replace a piece on here, cut this a bit here and grind it and put a piece in. Like I say, I do honestly think this is the last trip this car's going to do, because everything on it is just turning to, you can see even around the rear suspension, look, it's beginning to rot again. And like I say, I don't think we're going to get another trip out of this car without spending a small fortune on floor pans and sills and things. So we're just going to see if we can bodge it up, shall we say, for now. This is a bit of a bodging day, to be fair. So, yeah. Oh, you can see these are the old wings off the old red XJ when I had them resprayed. These are the older ones that are rotted out. And you can see Dad's been cutting pieces out for the Series 3. So we're going to cut a little piece out. I'm going to cut a little piece out of here and repair the sill with that. To go on as the sort of new part of sill, I'll have to make another little piece, but I probably won't bother filming that just to get the back. But generally this is the main piece. So it's going to be painted and under seal, so I'm not going to go crazy. It's only got to last a year. But yeah, with slight technical difficulties, I need the grinder to rub the rust off the car so I can weld this to the car. And I don't know where Dad's put it. We're not doing very well here, so we've got all the blades. I've got loads of blades, but I've got no actual disc cutter or grinder, what you want to call it. I've got one, but it's a bit heavy duty for what I need it for. I think that's a bit extreme, don't you? So yeah, might have to wait till Dad gets back now. Oh, another snag. So I've just welded that on. I was going to film it, but to be honest, I'm a bit dodging the rain here, so I just wanted to, you know, go and get on with it, to be honest. Yeah, I have to say, right, I've had 3 X300 Jaguars in my lifetime, right? I had a normal XJ6, I've got the Executive, and I've got the Sport. Now, I don't know why, okay, but when I got this red one, I undersealed it underneath, everything, yeah? And that was maybe getting on 6 months ago. If you look under it now, there's no rust at all coming through any of it. It's still, and I use it all the time. This car gets used every day, all the time, whatever. And there's no rust coming through or nothing. You know, it's like the day I done it, nearly. Now, the Rust to Rome car, I undersealed that just over a month ago and done the whole thing. And it's rusting through already. Already coming through. Now, that car is the rustiest X300 I've ever seen in my life. I really don't know why it keeps rusting so bad. You don't even go out in it and it rusts. So it's like somebody's dropped it in the ocean at one point and it's just the salt's eating it away. I don't know. But the rust on it is insane. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I've bought some rusty cars, but this one is the rustiest thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, the whole thing is just like rust. And I must admit, someone did say get a sandblaster if you ever get rust, because you can sandblast up, which I think is a really good idea. And in fact, I've looked at one, but they're bit, you know, I might leave it a few months before I buy one, because I've just bought the exhaust for the other one. But that's a really good idea, and I think, you know, I'd like to get one of those myself, actually. But I don't think you could sandblast the Rust to Rome car, because I think if you sandblasted the rust on it, there'd be no car left. I think it, I don't think you could actually do it. It's that bad. Yeah, it's not good, is it? But let me show you what I mean in a minute. I'll show you some of the rust under it, and you'll see what I mean. Considering it's only done not even 100 miles this year, and it's had a sheet over it as well. I mean, the rust is insane, and this red one sits out all the time. It goes out in all weathers, whatever. So I don't know whether it's just because it had so much rust in it when I bought it, or what. I don't know, but I've never seen one as bad as this. I mean, this just, I just can't believe it, to be honest with you. It's shocking. But yeah, like I say, out the other X300s, they weren't too bad. They were sort of like the commonplace, like the wheel arches and the sort of place like that, and, you know, front wings and what have you. But yeah, this one, it's everywhere else as well. It's not just in the common places, it's literally everywhere. So yeah, so like I say, let me get that painted and that, well, because I am dodging the rain here. Look, it keeps raining on the XJ6. There we go, look. Yeah, you see, I have to keep dodging it. So I'm struggling to film it at the minute. But you can just see the little weld patch on there. So there we go, that's a proper exhaust bodge, that is. I don't like bodging, but at the end of the day, it is a banger rally car. He's only going to do one more trip, and to be honest, this These exhausts, I think I'm going to cut them off for the last trip and just have a straight piece of pipe out here anyway. But yeah, like I say, you can see what I mean with the rust. Look, the exhausts are just mental. But yeah, like I say, I only undersealed this a few weeks ago. So there we go. Like I say, it's a bit rotten down there, more than it was last year. Like I say, you can see the extent of rust we've had. Look at these big patches that somebody's welded in. Look, there's a big one here. Look at how rough the welding was as well. Look, I mean, someone smashed that jacking point. Sill. Look at that. I mean, you can see what I mean. It's had a lot of hammer, should we call it? But yeah. So another issue I have, the sump pan for the transmission seems to have started leaking. Now it's not leaking a great deal. I know it's got a drip there, but it doesn't seem to leave a wet mark on anything. So it's really leaking next to nothing. But I'm just going to try and tighten the bolts of the sump pan up. Wonder if it's come a bit loose, because I had a Land Rover did this once. It leaked for ages, went under there, tightened them, and it stopped completely. Never had a problem again, so I'm just going to give them a light tighten up. So yeah, I've just given them a quarter of a turn. The only thing I've got to do now, I think, for the test is put petrol in it. We are a bit low on petrol. So yeah, that's it for this video really. I mean, it's getting hard to keep this car going when it sits outside. I think it's just the rain and all that. I think cars that sit and stand on driveways, it really does not do them any good at all. I really don't think it does, because I've noticed this one. You know, it smells funky in here now as well. I mean, there's quite a few things not quite right about it anymore. It still runs nice, still starts up straight away, but it's just, I don't know. I think when you buy an old car and you just abandon it on your drive, I think, yeah, they do start to get faults. But yeah, like I say, as long as we get one trip out of it, that's all that matters, isn't it? So, until next time, hopefully it'll be the exhaust on the XJR next. And like I say, I'll see you all next time with a new Jaguar video.